Good morning, boys and girls. I have today's math lesson with you, and I'm excited about our time together. Make sure that your page looks just like mine so that we can work together today. The first thing I want to look at is this new idea that we're learning today. We have checked our problems before, and you know that we've learned how to check division, and now today, boys and girls, we're going to learn how to check our multiplication. And this is a great tool, especially on a test or a quiz, to help you to know that you have the right answer. Wouldn't that be great if you're doing a test and as you turn it in, you know for a fact that those ones that you checked are correct. So this is a great tool for you to use for that. So let's take a look here. The first thing we're going to do, we're just going to work the problem like we're accustomed to doing, okay? So remember that we always start here with the ones place, and we're going to be fair and share. So we're going to multiply 2 times 3 and then 2 times 7. So let's worry with that first. So 2 times 3 would give us 6, and then 2 times 7 would be 14. Now we have to do a couple of things to get set up for the next part. If we had any carrying, you can either cross it out or erase it, whatever works best for you. And then we have to put our 0 down here. Remember, we have to draw our donut down there to take the place of that 1 spot because we already did the ones. And now we're moving on to the tens place. So we're going to, again, be fair and share. And we're going to do 4 times 3 and 4 times 7. So let's do that together now. So we have 4 times 3 is 12. So we have to do our plus 1 and write our 2 here. And then we have 4 times 7, which is 28, plus 1 would give us 29. Now we need to add our products together now that we've multiplied everything. So 6 plus 0 is 6. 4 plus 2 is 6. 1 plus 9 is 10. So we need to carry 1 and write our 0. And 1 plus 2 is 3. So our answer is 3,066. Now I want to make sure that I multiplied correctly because sometimes we can make a mistake. Maybe we didn't add our carry like we were supposed to, or we got messed up with our multiplication facts, or whatever the case may be. So now we're going to go back through and check it. Here's what you do to check it. It's so simple. You just flip those numbers, okay? So right here we have 73 times 42. I'm just going to flip them. So I'm going to put 42 up top, and I'm going to put 73 down below and multiply, okay? So that's all you have to do to check is just let the numbers switch. All right, so 3 times 2 would be 6. 3 times 4 is 12. Here's the start part where we pause and we draw our donut in the one spot because we're already finished there, and we would cross out or erase any carrying that we did. And now we're going to move on to the tens place. So 7 times 2 is 14. There's my plus 1 and my 4. 7 times 4 is 28. Plus 1 is 29. Now we need to add our numbers together. 6 plus 0 is 6. 2 plus 4 is 6. 1 plus 9 is 10. And 1 plus 2 is 3. And would you look at that? These two match, so we know we did it correctly. And since we checked it, we know for a fact that it is correct. All right, so let's work this one here together. Again, we're going to start with our ones. We're going to be fair and share. So 5 times 7 is 35. And 5 times 6 is 30. Plus our 3 would give us 33. So let's do our couple of things that we need to do. We need to draw our donut here. And we need to erase or cross out our carrying. And now we're set to move on to the next one. So 3 times 7 is 21. There's my plus 2, and there's my 1. 3 times 6 is 18. Plus 2 is 20. And now we need to add our products together. So 5 plus 0 is 5. 3 plus 1 is 4. 3 plus 0 is 3. And here we just get to bring our 2 down. So our answer is 2,345. That's kind of a neat answer. We have 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but let's see if it's correct. See if Mrs. Quilty's multiplication and addition are correct. So remember, when we're checking our multiplication, we just flip those factors. So now 35 gets to be on top, and 67 is going to take second place there. All right, so let's start here with our one spot. 7 times 5, 35. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 3 is 24. Now let's do our little bit of housekeeping that we have to do. We need to draw our donut and erase or cross out our carrying, and we're ready to move on. So 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 3 is 21. Let's add up our products. 5 plus 0, 5. 4 plus 0, 4. 2 plus 1 is 3. And here we get to bring down our 2. And our answers match. We did it right. All right, we have one more to do right here, boys and girls. Let's start right here with our ones. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 1 is 4. We don't have any carrying or anything on this one, but we do need to draw our donut in the 1 spot, and now we're ready to move on. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 1 is 9, and we need to add our products together. So 8 plus 0, boys and girls, is 8. 4 plus 6 is 10. We need to carry 1 and write our 0. 1 plus 9 is 10. So we have 1,008. Let's check it. Do you remember what we have to do to check? We're going to flip those factors. So 84 will now be on top, and 12 will take the bottom spot. All right, so 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 8 is 16. Here's our housekeeping. We have to take a pause. We need to draw our donut in the 1 spot and erase or cross out any carrying, which we didn't have on this one. 1 times 4 is 4, and 1 times 8 is 8. Now we need to add our numbers together. 8 plus 0 is 8. 6 plus 4 is 10. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 8 is 10, and we got another one right. So boys and girls, all you need to remember here is when you go to check your multiplication, just flip those factors and multiply again and make sure that your answers match. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and erase this, and let's look at these story problems together and see what we can do to answer them, okay? So let's take a look here and see what's going on. In letter A, it says Mrs. Turner bought 8 quarts of vanilla ice cream and 3 gallons of chocolate ice cream for a party. Ooh, that sounds good. How much did she pay if a gallon costs $3.75? Boys and girls, this is one of those conversion measurement equations that we need to set up together. So let's look here. We know that she bought 8 quarts of vanilla. So let's write 8 in our QT. And then 3 gallons of chocolate. So we're going to add that together because she bought all of this for the party. Equals blank. And it says, how much did she pay if a gallon cost? So we know they want the answer in gallons on this one. All right. Now we have quarts and we have gallons. Okay, but we know the answer is supposed to be in gallons. So we need to change it over. So this one's going to get a blank gallons. Plus, this one's already in gallons, so 3 gallons equals blank gallons. So we've rewritten our problem to go ahead and change everything over to gallons, okay? The next thing we need to do is put a box around the ones that are different. So in looking at our problem, which ones are different? Well, it's this one because we have quart and gallon. So this is going to get our square or box around it. And the next thing we need to do is 1, 2, 3. So let's write our 1, 2, 3. And hopefully you remember that 2 is where our special number goes. Okay? So we have quarts and we have gallons, and we're talking about ice cream here. So if I'm going to get ice cream, do I want a quart of ice cream or do I want a gallon of ice cream? Well, if you really like ice cream, you're probably going to want a gallon because a gallon's bigger. So that means that we're going from smaller to larger. We divide, okay? So that's our number 1 here. Now, our special number, we get that from asking ourselves, how many quarts are just in 1 gallon? And that would be 4. Hopefully you remember that from our cards that we used to flash in class. So now we take the only other number in our box, which would be 8, and we divide, because that's what you told me here for number 1, by our special number, which is 4, okay? So 8 divided by 4 is going to give me 2. So 2 is what goes here in my blank. So now I know that I have 2 gallons here, but I'm not finished because I need to add. So I have 2 gallons plus 3 gallons. That's going to give me 5 gallons. So I'm going to fill in my 5 here. But boys and girls, we're not finished. This is a two-stepper problem because the question is, how much did she pay if a gallon costs $3.75? We want to know how much she spent. So we know that 1 gallon, it tells us here, is $3.75, but how many gallons did we just figure that she bought? She bought 5. So now we have to take $3.75 and multiply by 5 because 1 gallon's $3.75, but she bought 5. So let's take a look at this together. 5 times 5 is going to be 25. So carry your 2 and write your 5. 5 times 7 is 35 plus 2 is 37. So carry your 3, write your 7. I'm going to go ahead and do my decimal point, my dollar sign, so I don't forget that. 5 times 3 is 15 plus 3 is 18. So how much did Mrs. Turner spend on ice cream? She spent $18.75. So we're going to write that. Again, don't forget your dollar sign and your decimal point, but $18.75 is how much she spent on the ice cream. All right, let's take a look here at letter B. Boy, these boys' names all sound similar. We have Jaden, Braden, and Caden, and they're buying a gift for their grandmother. Isn't that a nice thing for them to do? The gift is going to cost them $38.67, but they want to share the cost of the gift equally. So we need to figure out for Jaden, Braden, and Caden, how much does each of them need to contribute to make sure that they have collected the $38.67. Well, so we're going to take that amount and we're going to divide it up amongst the number of boys there are. So how many boys do we have? We have 3 here. So we're going to divide 3 into $38.67. All right, so let's remember our 5 steps of division. We have divide, multiply, subtract, compare, and bring down. So how many times will 3 divide into 3? What times 3 will give me 3? That would be 1. So I'm going to write that here, following through my steps. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. Now I need to compare. Is 0 less than 3? It is. So next I can bring down my 8. Now I need to ask myself, how many times will 3 divide into 8, or what times 3 will get me close to 8? Remember, we can't go over though. So what would that be? That would be 2. All right, so next we need to multiply. 2 times 3 is 6. 8 minus 6 is 2. I need to compare. Is 2 less than 3? It is, so I can bring down my 6. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put my decimal point and my dollar sign again. Here we are. So how many times will 3 divide into 26? Or what times 3 will get me close to 26 without pushing me over? And that would be 8. So 8 times 3, 24. 26 minus 24 will give me 2. Next I need to compare. Is 2 less than 3, boys and girls? It is. So I can bring down my 7. Now I'm dividing 3 into 27. So what times 3 will give me 27 without putting me over? Hopefully the number 9 just popped into your head, because 9 times 3 is 27, and 27 minus 27 is 0. We compare. 0 is less than 3, so we're finished. So how much does Jaden, Braden, and Caden each need to put in to pay for Grandma's gift? And they're each going to contribute $12.89. Okay, you go ahead and flip your paper over, and I will erase what I have here. And you'll notice on the back of your paper, boys and girls, that you have some review to do, okay? But I do want to do the averaging with you. This number 6 here is what we just did on our story problem. Reducing to lowest terms, remember what you divide the top by, you have to divide the denominator or the bottom of your fraction by. So I think you're doing well on that. You have your fractional parts here. Don't forget, with your Roman numerals, we have our fun saying. We have I, vacuum extra large carpets, either for dad and mom or during math. That's up to you, but that'll help you remember those numbers there. But let's look here at number 4 together, and we'll work on this one. We're finding the average. There's a few steps we have to remember when we're finding the average, boys and girls. So the first thing we have to do is add. Remember, we have A, B, C. So we're gonna add first, okay? So let's put our addition sign here. 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 2 is 12. All right, so 1 plus 7 is 8, plus 5 is 13, plus 9 is 22. So we've added all of our numbers together. It's ACD. Mrs. Quilty said that wrong. So we add first, next we count. So how many numbers do we have? 1, 2, 3. So we've just counted. 3 is the number there. Next we need to divide. Okay, so we're dividing 3 into 222 to find our average. So will 3 divide into 2? It won't. We'd have to use a 0. And remember, as we've been preparing for 4th grade, we don't write that 0 anymore. We just move on to the next number, okay? So next I'm looking at 3 dividing into 22. So what times 3 will get me close to 22? I don't want to go over. That would be 7. So I'll write my 7 here. 7 times 3 is 21. We're going to subtract. 22 minus 21 gives me 1. I need to compare. Is 1 less than 3? It is. So I can bring down the 2. Now I need something times 3 that will give me 12. And that would be a 4. All right, so 4 times 3 is 12. 12 minus 12 is 0. So the average, remember we circle the answer, would be 74. You just have to remember those few steps. A, C, D. Add, count, divide. All right, don't forget the rest of your paper, boys and girls. Don't forget to do these different sections. And on your Roman numerals, I vacuum extra large carpets during math or for dad and mom. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day.